He created you, he created us all. Hush, little baby, don't you fear. We're never alone when Allah's so near. Hush, little baby, breathing so calm. He'll protect us all and keep us from harm. Hush, little baby, still and serene. You are a Muslim, Islam's your deen. Hush, little baby, pure and small.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Dear viewers everywhere, welcome back to this series of episodes under the title of Our Schools. Are they improving? Are they moving on? In the last episode, we talked about one feature of a good classroom, which was the use of audiovisual, the interactivity with audiovisuals, with the IT, with the computers, and the smart board. Yes, this is very important in the life of our students. Another feature, we're looking for another feature to decide to judge that this classroom is an excellent classroom, is an outstanding classroom, would be something called cross-curricular links. Enter a classroom and you find the teacher is talking about his or her subject matter and does not move at all from it to other things. Best classrooms when we find not just the teacher, and the teacher should train the students to get this habit of making links of the subject that they use. A teacher is explaining Quran and he comes across a verse that's scientific miracle of the Quran. Here he needs to make a link to science. If he's incapable, there's no problem at all. And this is something we love to see, that a teacher of science coming from her class or from his class and spending 10 minutes or 5 minutes to explain this thing scientifically and to leave the room. Assalamu alaikum. This is a wonderful thing to happen. We'll find more than one teacher, a teacher from different fields, they are dealing with one text. Children will never forget this. When you make these links, they find one of the ways that they found the brain works is that the more knots they have, right, the more links are in the brain. That means the more opportunity that this student would be excellent student, because all these links are already there. Once he or she confronts a situation, he would recall this immediately. But if there are no links that are made in the brain of a human being, it becomes very difficult for the student to come with intuitive answer, to come with a solving problem. So one of the things that would help is that every teacher who teaches, he would make links. Teacher of Arabic, a teacher of English, a teacher of science, they would make links with many things. And the Quran is the best material for this. You would find links with science, links with everything. So the more cross-curriculum, you move from your subject matter to another subject in your subject during your teaching, while you are teaching this subject, it helps students to make these links in their brain. And the more links we have in brains, the more readiness the students would be, inshallah, problem solvers and good students. Do you do this in your class?
Yes, we do that.
Okay, give me examples.
For example,
I want you to share the example so we would really live the moment, and at least our viewer would know this. And this is all not only for the teachers, this is also for the parents. When the parents help their kids at home, they should do the same thing. Try to link between this and this and this and this. Talk about something in Chicago at the same time to talk about something in Mumbai, to link it with what's happening in Mecca, to link it with what's happening here or there. We need to make these links. However, in your classrooms, you should be doing this. In every subject matter, you try to link it with the Quran. So we are achieving this vision through these techniques. Remember that? So one of the techniques we tell the people that we make cross-curricular links between every subject and every phenomenon. with the Quran or the Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we should, as we train the teachers of Arabic and Islamic, we should train other teachers as well who teach other subjects to do these links. Okay, and also the biography of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a wonderful source for this. All the time we try to link what's happening in the world with the biography of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So one of the things that we do for the teachers who are not specialized in Islam, at least we give them some courses, some essential courses, some training in the biography of the Prophet ﷺ and how to link ayat with the subject that they teach. Is this clear? Okay, can you give me some examples of what happens, whether you did it yourself or somebody else in your school did it? Yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Mustafa Hamdani here.
Assalamu rahmatullah.
Well, my experience in the initial days were in training, and we were taught like you need to have an objective of whatever you're going to teach today. So the objective is the most important thing for the student.
Okay.
What you are going to achieve and how much you are going to give them today with your knowledge and the topics which you are going to cover.
Okay.
And as you said, the interlinking of the Quran and the subject. Alhamdulillah.
Not just the Quran, many subjects.
Many subjects. But the teacher is specialized in a particular subject. Like if she or he is covering a subject of geography, then of course she should have some verses, Quranic verses, mucked up or with the translation part, and they need to feed into the students.
Yes, you hit a very important point, and really I will talk about it, and perhaps tomorrow or after tomorrow. You may not be here, but I invite you to be here. I'll spend a lot of time about lesson planning. Lesson plans do not begin with the objectives. They begin with something more important than objectives. I'll talk about them later, inshallah. Just try to tempt you to come to the, lessons. Any lesson, I will talk clearly about objectives. Objectives, they should be written. I will give you many examples that happen in many schools. Objectives would be written clearly on the board and should be shared with the students. Some teachers just write them and they don't share them. Okay, one problem happens in 99.9% of the classrooms in the world, that they write objectives, learning objectives that are not measurable. For example, the students would be able to know about Mumbai. What is that? This is unmeasurable. You cannot measure this. We need an objective that can be measured by anyone, and they can come up with the same result, with the same answer. So this objective, if it is not measurable, it's not helpful. It's not helpful for the students, it's not helpful for the teachers. They don't know whether they achieve this objective or not, if it is so general. So it should be very specific, measurable things, okay? I would say that by the end of the lesson, the students would be able to identify 10 landmarks in Mumbai. So by the end of the lesson, I ask one or two students, can you identify some of the landmarks in Mumbai? Go ahead, tell me 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got it. Achieved. But if you say that the student would be able to know to Mumbai, it's unclear. It's unmeasurable. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is one thing about learning objectives. I'll talk about the whole lesson planning, inshallah, how to plan for a lesson. Yes, inshallah, and you will enjoy it, but not now. Yes, any other comment about this one? Yeah.
When a teacher does correlation, that is linking one subject to the other, when you correlate a particular subject from one stream to the other, like when you teach history, you go to the past and you correlate it with the future. There is a big scope for the child to learn and explore itself. Like you've given the information about the past and the present situation. If you're studying about a particular civilization, the child can definitely have a clear-cut difference between what is present and what was past. So this is like giving a fresh-hand experience to the child by correlating.
I like that very much. Yes, all the time try to link the past with the present, with the future. Right. So when you have something, and also another type of links is linking with local and global. Did I mention this yesterday? Local and global. Link the students with the local community, with Mumbai, with India, then go to the world. So the people would see that the interconnection between everything in the world. So it's very important to develop the brain of the child like this. And that's what the IB program does. Are you aware of the IB? Yes. I think this is the good thing, that they prepare a person who can fit anywhere in the world. A Muslim is the person who fits anywhere in the world. Yes, and we need to adopt this policy, yes. So you connect him locally, right, and broadly, nationally, and then globally. In anything that you talk, if you can do this, this is an amazing. The same thing that she said, that we connect him with the past, the present, what will happen in the future, what is the expectation that may happen according to your analysis of the past and the present. What is your expectation of the future? What will happen in the future based on these links? Okay. Jazakumullahu khairan. We'll take a break, 5 minutes, come back, and I will have opportunity to drink my tea. This is not recorded, by the way. Assalamu alaikum.
Hush, little baby, breathing so calm.
Marriage is the cornerstone for a successful society. How can we maintain a successful marriage? Join us in this journey where we learn how to plan for it, execute it, maintain it, and end it according to Islam.
Grasp the unique philosophy of Islam to make marriages successful in Marriage and Divorce. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 8:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
A friendly message by Dr. Zakir. Old Age Home.
Al-Quran, Surah Al-Isra, chapter number 17, verses number 23 and 24 says, Your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him, and that you be kind to parents. Whether one or both of them attain old age in your life, say not a word of contempt. Do not say oof to them, nor repel them, but address them in terms of honor. And out of kindness, lower to them the wing of humility and say, My Lord, bestow on them your mercy, even as they cherished me in childhood. There is no place for old age home in Islam.
Peace TV, the solution for humanity.
Hush, little baby, breathing so calm.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back, and I hope this is an enjoyable experience for you. Everyone, as a parent, as a student, and mainly if you are a teacher or a principal. We were talking about cross-curricular links, and we added a new dimension to it, or two new dimensions to it, a link between the past and the present and the future. And another link was linking the community, local community, with the national community and the global community. And we talked about the experience of the IB, International Baccalaureate. They usually focus on these things, and this is something really very beautiful. Okay, what else? What other types of links?
In the link of subjects or curriculum, there is an important thing, that Islamization of the curriculum. Islamization of the curriculum, because Islam have its own solution in everything. For example, if we teach Darwin theory,
okay,
we should research what Islam say in this theory.
Yeah, okay. What he's trying to say, that we will take Islam as a core and we try to link any subject with Islam, and I definitely agree to this. while you are preparing for your lesson, try to find links between the subject that you teach and link it with Islam. And this requires that we should have some good Muslims, by the way, yes, who know Islam well in order to do this, or at least to work together. And this is very important. I will talk about this when we talk about reviewing the curriculum. The curriculum that we have, when we try to review it, of course, we review the curriculum every year. This is done by personal observation. When you teach something and you find something, for example, you will find some gaps in the curriculum that you teach, or some repetitiveness. Okay, for example, in Arabic, something that's very common, the teaching of al-Shamsiyya and al-Qamariyya. Do you know that? Al-Shamsiyya and al-Qamariyya, if you are aware of this, if you studied Tajweed, you will find that sometimes you find it in grade 2 books and in grade 4 books without depth. So you'd find it just repetition, there is no addition to it. In other words, there's some waste of time for the students to study something twice. Okay, at the same time, not reviewing the curriculum individually, but reviewing the curriculum collectively. So if we are reviewing physics, so we'd have 2 experts in physics and 1 expert in Islamic studies. So he would be sitting with them, right? And they go through the subject, and here where he can put his input. Okay, when we're talking about Darwinism, we can use this verse or this hadith. And this should be added to the curriculum, to the syllabus here. Whenever we talk about this, there's a reference, right? Or cross-reference to this subject, Islamic subject. Is this clear? So we talked about now 4 types of links. Extracurricular links between different subjects, links between any subject and Islam. This is very important for Islamic schools. Should have something different from others. Okay. The third one, we talked about reference between the past, the present, and the future. We talked about cross-reference or referencing or links between the local and the national and the global, right? This is the 4th one. Everybody's saying no, yes, and some are documenting. But let me go back to the linking the previous and the present, or the past and the present. There's something related to this usually. Yes, I'll come back to you. I'll talk in details about this issue when you prepare for a lesson. When you go into the classroom, don't start from scratch. Start with something that the students have studied earlier. So you don't begin from the beginning. No, just say, remember, 2 years back we studied a lesson that talked about, yes, the students would say, yes, now our lesson is a continuation of this. Remember when we talked about this thing, and now we are going to enlarge this. Remember, yesterday we were talking about this, and this is a continuation of this. Don't begin fresh from the scratch. Begin with something that students already know. Because research proved that when you build on something that's already known, it becomes easier for the students to learn it than if you begin something really new. So try to bring what they have learned in the past. And this doesn't take 15 seconds or 1 minute. And put something about it. Okay, something new to it. Is this clear? Yeah. And again, this will be mentioned again and when we say the lesson plan. Now there are new ideas about lesson plan. This is not what we have learned at school. Yeah, but now there's something new here. Okay, what else?
Sheikh, what we learn in the class is more of theory part.
More of?
Theory, theory. Any theory.
Theory.
Yeah, theory. So we should link it with the practical aspect of it.
Oh, very good. You said that one of the things that, especially subjects like science and math, we all the time when we talk about math, we don't talk about theoretical math. We should talk about practical math. Math that really acts in life. You should ask the students if they can measure this desk. Now ask them to measure this hole. Ask them to measure this pole. Ask them to measure something so they would be practical. In one of the classes that I visited, I really enjoyed this. The teacher asked the students, go home and measure your father's clothes, your mother's clothes, and your sister's clothes, and measure them, and come and tell me that. This was the assignment. It's a wonderful thing. They practically, they would know how to use mathematics in life, right? So these are some examples that, so linking here is another link. Link the theory with practice, if possible, of course, not everything. Especially when you're teaching about Mecca, it's not easy to take the students to Mecca overnight and come back, right? To continue the lesson tomorrow, right? The next day. So there's something sometimes impossible to do. Yes?
For example, as just brother said about the theory and the practical part, we can have something like theme of the month or theme of the week. If it's a Quran based on zakah, so the maths teacher can take the sum and elaborate on that. The Islamic studies take it in the other way.
This is really amazing. I want you to write this. Another way of linking is that to have a theme in the school for this week. I don't know if you have the flexibility and the freshness and the ability to do this or not. The theme of the week is, let's say, any topic, mercy. And we try to do something with mercy in science or in physics or in biology. In biology, it may be easy to do that. This is the theme of the week and to apply. In one school that we suggested to them that it's about camels. It was about camels. And even they use this in mathematics. They used to say, okay, a camel that runs at a speed of 40 kilometers, right? How long would it take from Mumbai to Chennai? See the example. So this is teacher of math would do this. Teacher of biology, it was the theme that they applied some biological features on camels. See what I'm saying? It's not easy, but if it happens, it is really amazing. So this is another dimension of linking all the subjects. What's happening during the whole week about one theme. It's really good. Okay, what else? This person or I did this. Let the students share their experience. This is how learning is happening. Some teachers are doing this, but unconsciously they don't do that. But if you put this in the lesson plan, so you would be able to, you would definitely, when I come and see your lesson plan, I see all these things in your lesson plan and you are applying them, I would say that definitely outstanding teacher. And definitely this means you are going to leave the school to another school who pays you more. This is a challenge, by the way. But remember that, and love, and I always repeat this, we teachers, we will not be like engineers or doctors, or it will never happen. I think our satisfaction is from the outcomes that we achieve. We are blessed to do the job of the messengers of Allah. We are the ones who do this. We are the ones who continue this. When you're teaching science and you link it with the Quran, you are doing that. So, and this is the gate that Allah opened for us to access paradise, inshallah. Yes, and we are the only human beings who are dealing with the brains of human beings and with the hearts of human beings. We are the only people. Doctors don't do that. Engineers don't do that. All other professions perhaps don't do this. We are the only ones who deal with these brains, and we are the ones who can help them to stretch them to the maximum, and we are the ones who shrink them to the minimum. We do this, unfortunately. So we are blessed with this profession. Yes, and no money, I think, would please us in return for what we are doing. We are expecting our rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want you to understand this. Teachers will never be like doctors or like engineers or like, businessmen. We will not be like. So we have to know that we are, if you find yourself succeeding in an area, stay in this area. Don't change it. Don't move to another school just for an extra little money, particularly if you don't really need this money much. If you can live without it, please stay where you are, because this is, you have taught these children for 3 or 4 years. If you teach them for 3 or 5 years, when they graduate, you would be proud to say that I am the one who participated in making these people by the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which gives you satisfaction that you will never get from any other source in the world. Even if you get the money of the world, you get an email from a person whom you've never seen in your life. you changed my life when you told me this statement 17 years back. I don't want to say 70 years back because this is not applicable at least to a few of us. So this is what, you get satisfaction that even if they give you $1 million, say no. I want to see this because you changed this life from this point to this point. Any other links? Jazakumullahu khairan. Anyway, we should connect them. We should try to interpret what is happening in these events from the Islamic perspective. Yes. And this requires us, by the way, also to see what the authentic scholars say. Because if you depend on your own person, definitely you may slip. So you need to see the link with so this is another link. You link yourself with Muslim scholars, right, all over the world. Jazakumullahu khairan. I hope we succeeded to make this point clear, to make links in the subject that you teach from different dimensions. We mentioned approximately 7 of them. I hope you have recorded them. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Hush, little baby, pure and small. He created you, he created us all. Hush, little baby, don't you fear. We're never alone when Allah's so